So different from any other plants that you could be mistaken for believing that they are from another planet. Their entire life is different from another plant. There's no compost, no pot, they don't go in the ground, they're taking everything in through the leaves. They're just a weird plant that's otherworldly. About 10 or 12 years ago, I got my first herb plant, which was a bit of a disaster, but I don't like being defeated. And from there, as you can see behind me, it became a bit of an obsession.
So I used to work in insurance and for many years. So basically working in an office, same four walls every day. And eventually I started to work on a sort of part-time basis for Graham, helping out in his nursery, got me outdoors. Got a bit of a feel for that, started to love it. And then as he moved on to the air plants, I moved with him, and the rest is history, but I love my air plants.
Air plants are known as Tillandsia, that's the proper name for them. They're a member of the bromeliad family, which is the same plant family as the common pineapple. They differ slightly in the respect that Tillandsia are all epiphytic in growth, which means that they take all the water and nutrients in out of the air. Generally speaking, air plants come from Central and Southern America, so mostly Latin America, but some species do extend as far north as the southern states of the USA. There's two basic types of air plants, which most species of Tillandsia can be divided into. You get the mesic type that tend to be from rainforest environments. They have much lusher green leaves because they're used to more humidity and less light. On the other side of the fence, you've got the xeric type of Tillandsia, which tend to be from desert environments, where they're used to a lot of sun beating down on them. So they're the ones with the more silvery leaf, and the silver's caused by little hair-like trichomes up the leaves that help to reflect the sunlight. Unlike most plants, Tillandsia use a specialised form of photosynthesis that's known as crassulacean acid metabolism. What that effectively means is that the plants hold the breath all day. Now, this is to prevent losing moisture through the leaves and through the breathing in the daytime. So while the nighttime temperatures are much cooler, that's when they choose to do all their breathing. As a result of that, Tillandsia are one of the few plants that never breathe out carbon dioxide. This is one of my favourite herb plants, Tillandsia usneoides, better known as Spanish moss or old man's beard. It's prevalent in places like Florida, where you see it growing from trees. A bit of it will get caught on the wind, snag on another tree. Next thing you know, you've a colony of usneoides that can bring trees down because of the sheer weight of it. This is Tillandsia ionantha Mexico. It's one of the easiest plants to grow. Anything with ionantha in the name means it's pretty near bulletproof as plants go. You get that nice red colour which contrasts fantastically with the purple flowers.
Air plants flower, but not many have fragrance. Now this one, Crocata copperpenny, absolutely beautiful fragrance. Makes it one of my favourites in the nursery. And when this one is in flower, quite often on a nice sunny day, you can smell it throughout the greenhouse. Keeping air plants at home is actually really easy and probably one of the easiest houseplants you could have. They don't need an awful lot of care. They will stand a bit of neglect, and they'll always tell you if they need a bit more water, because you might get a bit of brown at the end of the leaves, or the leaves might start to curl in themselves. So they're telling you that they need a little bit more water. You can use a spray bottle and just mist the plant perhaps once a week. And it could also, say perhaps you've got your air plant in a terrarium and you don't want to get that bowl wet, whatever, take the plant out, put it in a bowl of water for about an hour, let it soak up what it wants, then let it drain out thoroughly and bob it back in your bowl, and there you are. Use perhaps bottled water or rainwater, because you want to watch out for hard water, because that can actually damage the plants because of the metals in the water. Air plants can be put literally anywhere in your house, but as long as they get some natural light. But what they don't want is the full direct sunlight. That can actually damage and scorch the plants. If you were to put an air plant in compost or any kind of soil or whatever, because that's damp and wet, what will happen is the air plant itself will start to rot, and it will unfortunately kill the air plant. So it wants to be sat in a dry environment.
We feed all our plants once a month. We use a foliar feed, which means that the feed is in contact with the leaf of the plant. It's important with an air plant feed to make sure that you get the right kind of feed. Most plant feeds contain a high level of urea as the nitrogen source. So when you're looking for a feed, just look for that statement on the bottle, contains no urea. A decent Tillandsia feed or a decent orchid feed is perfectly adequate. We dilute it down, spray it on once a month, job done.
When I look at the air plants, especially the ones we have here, I think they just give you so much joy. They always give you a smile.